Hi everybody, my name is Maggie Rands and I am the Outreach Coordinator for the Down Syndrome Association of Greater Cincinnati. I am here to talk with you today about the changes in Ohio's 2020 primary election and how it's now a vote by mail election. And we're going to discuss the process. So hopefully you guys are still encouraged to get out there and make sure your vote counts. So on our agenda will be to discuss the voting changes. And then also I've included some advocacy resources at the end and ways in which you can contact your legislators. So first I want to just remind you the mission at the Down Syndrome Association is to empower individuals, educate families, enhance communities, and celebrate the extraordinary lives of people with Down syndrome. So my hope is today, by sharing with you this information, we will be able to, encourage you to still get out there and vote and just make sure you understand that your voice matters. And hopefully we can get over any barriers or obstacles there may be with this new absentee requirement. So like I said, the coronavirus crisis has led to many changes in our daily lives, which all of us are encountering, but now it's impacting how we vote. So the Ohio primary election is now vote by mail only, and the deadline is April 28th. What I do want to note is the postmark date for the absentee ballot is going to be April 27th. And also I will discuss in a little bit that there is going to be in-person voting available to those individuals who have a qualifying disability. So just remember that every vote does matter, and I'm going to give you a quick step-by-step process to help make sure that your vote counts. Here is the website that you guys will want to use. You can go ahead and log on to this now if you want to check it out while I go through these steps. Otherwise, just reference this when you are ready to request your ballot. So it's voteohio.gov. Three of the sections that I like to highlight is one, the frequently asked questions. There's a lot of really good, helpful information there. A lot of questions people have asked that there's already answers to, so you should check that out. Then we're going to check out the section where you're going to request your ballot. And then also they have a section in there for voters with disabilities. So that'll give details on accessible voting and the in-person voting option, like I mentioned previously. So first and foremost, you need to request and complete your absentee ballot. So what you need to do is fill out the absentee ballot request form. So all the links that I have included for you here do work. Unfortunately, the way that this is being recorded, I can't click on them and show you. But if you follow that link, that'll take you directly to the ballot request form. You'll want to fill that out. It's pretty self-explanatory. It's going to ask for basic information like your name and address and which election you want to vote in. And this one in particular is going to be our 2020 primary. Once you've completed that information, you'll open the printer-friendly PDF version. You're going to print your PDF and then you will sign it. And then you're going to mail it to your county board of elections. I've also included a link that will take you directly to a directory for the Board of Elections. So it's alphabetical, it's really easy to follow. You'll find that and then find the address where to mail it. I've also included here a video example of how to vote by mail in Hamilton County. Now I understand that there's people that live outside of Hamilton County, but I felt like this was a good resource. And most of the steps are going to be the same for everybody except when you get to your specific county board of elections. But it was a nice visual, so another good option if you have questions in the process. So feel free to use that as well to help work through these steps. Okay, so like I mentioned before, there is accessible absentee voting available. So the process is fairly similar, but what you're going to want to do if you're a person who has a disability and not able to use the traditional absentee voting process, you will be eligible to receive an absentee ballot in accessible format. So what you're going to have to do is provide a written request to your Board of Elections using this form 11G, which I have the direct link to. You can also find that form at the Ohio Secretary of State website, which I have the link to there, or you can go directly to your Board of Elections website. So you'll need to fill that form out and send that in. And then also, as I mentioned previously, voting in person is going to be limited to voters with a qualifying disability or voters who cannot receive mail. Now, as of now, in-person voting will take place at the Board of Elections office on April 28th from 6:30 to 7:30 p.m. It's my recommendation with how quickly things are changing on a daily basis, just to make sure you stay up to date with your local county boards and make sure there's no changes there. But as of now, that date is April 28th. You'll also want to contact your county board of elections for details regarding that in-person voting and if there's any specific recommendations that they have for your specific county. So once the board receives your application, the information they are going to send back to you to your email address will be one, a link to access and mark your ballot. You're going to receive the Secretary of State Form 12A, which I provided a direct link to so you can see what that looks like. And this is basically just asking for a statement from the voter that the ballot that you received did not have any markings on it prior to you marking it yourself. You will also receive 12N, which is detailed instructions on how to use the remote ballot marking system. They'll include any additional instructions prepared by your county board of elections as well. So they do provide a lot of information. It seems like there's lots of steps, but know that all of the information is there and available to you. Here, like I had mentioned previously, are the direct links to the frequently asked questions section. So there's the frequently asked questions regarding accessibility, and then also general questions regarding the primary election. So both those links are there. So just remember, our 2020 primary election is vote by mail. We want to encourage you to make sure your voice is heard, and hopefully by having these steps laid out for you, it'll help make that process a little bit easier. Now, please know that I am available to help answer any questions. On the first and last slide of this presentation, you have my email address. That's going to be the best way to contact me. So please make sure you use that if there's anything that you need. So as I also mentioned, I wanted to make sure I shared with you guys some resources regarding all this new legislation that is changing on what seems like a daily basis right now regarding coronavirus and our community. So the Down Syndrome Association is closely monitoring the latest COVID-19 legislative updates, and I wanted to make sure you guys know who we generally look to as trusted resources. So you can go directly to these websites as well to find the most up-to-date information on legislation. So the National Down Syndrome Congress Policy and Advocacy Group, the Center for Public Representation, the ARC, and then also locally we often look to the Human Services Chamber of Hamilton County. So all those direct links are there. You can go there, go to their website. They often lists calls to action where you can use those links to directly contact your members of Congress to tell them about issues that are important to you and if there's anything that you'd like to see changed in their policies. So here are some tools to help you contact your members of Congress. I will recommend that email is one of the best ways to do that. And I've put direct links to those tools for you here. And the last portal that is shared with you is shared by the ARC. And it also provides an email template. So you basically will just need to put your name and information and any specifics that you would like to include in that template, and that'll get sent directly to your members of Congress. I hope this helps you guys, understand that the members of Congress and, the legislators, they are accessible. It sometimes doesn't always feel that way, but by using these tools, your voice really can be heard. And it's really important in times like these that, people are listening to us and understanding what matters. So if you have questions when you're using these tools, or if there's any issues in particular that you have questions about, please, again, feel free to reach out to me. And if I don't have the answers directly, I work closely with our Government Affairs Committee. And I'm sure that we'll be able to find those answers for you. So as I mentioned before, if you have questions, email is the best way to reach me. It's maggier@dsagc.com. So I appreciate you guys listening. I hope this information helps, and please reach out at any time. I hope you have a great day. Thank you.